Lionel in Aquitaine, France. Or as I say, France. This is Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to cut some photochromic transitional gray lenses with anti-glare coating for your Rayban 2132 new Wayfarer in the 55 eye size. I'll be demonstrating in the matte black, which is the color 622, which is the matte black rubber. But these will fit into no matter what color you have. So I'm going to take the Italian frame, put it into my Santanelli. This is the LE1000 patternless edger. Runs $30,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one. And it's tracing the shape of the left lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the right. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You would normally get free prescription lenses, but you're not buying the frame for me. You just want lenses only. So Lionel, you gotta pay for them. So let's pull up the shape onto the computer. If these were prescription, I'd put in the pupillary distance. They are not, so I'm having it match the frames. These are polycarbonate lenses that I'll cut on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating. It's being cut for a plastic frame, and I know from experience the 55 has a deeper bevel, so I'm going to bring it down in size just a little bit, and I may have to do a little bit more. But I'm going to take your lenses out of the protective sleeves, set these down, take the other one out, do the same thing with it. Now this is a block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in the machine. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, and what do you know, 3M makes those. The black side is the sticky side. You stick that onto the block, pull the tape away, and set that down in the middle of the lens. I'm going to do the same thing now again with the other lens. And now, because of the anti-glare coating, which is a hydrophobic coating, meaning that it hates water, but in a good way, it just means you never have to use a liquid again to ever clean your lenses. I'm going to provide you with a premium microfiber cleaning cloth that's all you will ever need to clean your lenses. But it makes it a little bit slippery while cutting, so I'm going to put an additional sticker on the back of the lens. And I'm going to take the lens and put it into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it chuck. But the first thing that's going to happen is these calipers are going to come down, and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of the frame onto the lens to make sure the lens is large enough to fit into your frame. And it is. It's starting with the rear surface, the concave surface, and then the closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. All the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know where to place the bevel. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. And this wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to cut the bevel onto the lens so it'll fit into the frame. But we'll have to close the door in just a moment. But I just want you to see as your unbreakable bulletproof lens touches down onto the cutting wheel. And the other thing, I want to empty the trap. This is all leftover polycarb material that I've been cutting. I needed to empty that. Sorry, I had to take out the trash while cutting your lens. But your lenses are made out of polycarb. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. As I mentioned earlier, they are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber, and they have both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. So if you notice, there's water running in the background. The polycarb cuts dry. The water is only running just to collect any optical sawdust that you might see. Here's a little optical sawdust. It's that little white powdery substance you see on the edge of the equipment. If you notice, your lens is completely flat around the edges, and now it is actually moving over to get the bevel placed on the lens so it fits inside the frame. In just a moment, in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, there are 2 water jets one in the rear, one in the front here that's going to spray water onto the lens, and it's just to wash away any of this white optical debris, which is known as swarf. So this is washing away any of that debris. And in just a moment, I'll take the lens out and we'll see if it fits into your frame. Okay, so the lens is done cutting. Take that out. I want to dry your lens off so it is not slippery. And you still have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to smooth those out using my hand stone. And again, this white powdery substance is known as swarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape that off. And once it's all completely off your lens and onto the counter, I collect it neatly and very carefully into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. So let's go ahead and get your lens mounted. I have the frame turned upright, and this is how you're going to mount your lenses. Now I'm working on the right lens, so I'm not trying to reach across the frame. I have the right side closest to me. I have the frame pointed upright. I tuck the lens in at the outside corner, then using my thumbs, ooh, hey, look at that, it's still alive. I press down at the nose. Actually, I think I need to trim a little more off. Yeah, let me take this off. It's still a little bit large. So let me take a little bit more off and hit retouch. Now it's going to skip the cutting wheel this time and go straight to the bevel wheel. And it's going to take about 1/10 of a millimeter. And to my American friends who have no idea what a millimeter is, it is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off all the way around the circumference of your lens until it easily fits into the frame. Hopefully no water has splashed up on the camera lens. If so, I'll wipe that off now. Okay. Out comes that. I'm going to dry everything off again. Real quick, back to the handstone. Back to the safety bevel. Scrape all the way, and this time I'm just going to drop it straight on the floor. How about that? No sense even putting it on the counter. So, again, hold the frame upright. You tuck the lens in at the outside corner, then using your thumbs, you press down at the nose and it snaps in perfectly. So I want to go ahead and start cutting the left lens. I'm going to flip that over to left and hit start. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of the left side of your frame, always starting with the concave, the rear surface first, and then moving over to trace the front surface of the lens. This is a routine operation. I cannot override it. I would if I could. It would save me about a minute on every video, but hey, you're in it for the long haul. Plus, people have emailed me to say they like watching the lens go round and round. So, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. And in just a moment, this will start up. And when your left lens begins cutting, I will keep working on your right. So I want to go ahead and take this block off, and actually I can peel that off with my fingers. Drop that in the trash, clean that off. Pull off this blue sticker, it is no longer needed. And I just want to dry your lens off. Hold it up to the light to inspect there are no blemishes, and there are none. So your left lens is cutting now. Now Lionel, years from now, should you ever need prescription lenses, I can send them right to your home. And just by watching the video, you'll see how to pop them in. Of course, I'll make a video then when I cut the prescription lenses, showing you how to pop them into your frame. So again, your lens is completely flat. Now the knife-like edge is being cut onto the edge of your lens. So the water is kicked in, which tells me it's on the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Just gonna make sure everything's dry on the lens. Don't worry, you do not have a blue cataracts growing where everything got blurry all of a second. That was my cleaning cloth. Okay, out it comes. Let's dry everything off. Remove those rough edges by applying the safety bevel very quickly, then using my thumbnail, scrape all that off again, and of course wipe it on the floor. I'm a professional. Kids, don't try this at home. So, I now have the empty side closest to me. I tuck the left lens in. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. That's all you have to do. Now, some people like to push it in at the nose first and then push down at the outer edge. Whatever technique works for you. And of course, if you ever have to remove your lenses, just with your thumb, you press down at the nose, put the other thumb on top, and you can actually torque the frame. You're not going to hurt your frame, and the lens will pop right out. So, pop that back in. Let me take this block off. Pull that sticker off, dry that, clean everything, and do a quick inspection to make sure there are no blemishes on the lenses, of which there are none, and actually just some adhesive residue left over from the sticky pad. So I'm going to dry all that off, and now I'm going to go ahead and activate your lens. That means that I'm going to turn them dark. Quick inspection. Now we're good. Now we're cooking with gas. Or peanut oil, whatever you prefer to cook with. But you can see how your lenses look when they're virtually clear. Now I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of UV light. And as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes about 45 seconds to a minute 15 for them to lighten all the way when you come back inside. Now this is very important, Lionel. Listen up, listen up. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is when you're in your car driving, unless you have a convertible or a motorcycle. Your windshield stops the harmful ultraviolet rays from causing your upholstery to rot or your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now, as soon as you step out of the car, they will darken. They also work best when it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit and below. Once it's 95 to 100, I remind everyone that you're miserable, your glasses are miserable. No one likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside, so they will get darker when it's 90 and below. So this is just the first time they've been activated. Don't you worry, they're going to keep darkening as we... Come on, Lionel, we talked about this. Remember, we covered this. They're going to keep getting darker. So that's that. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And Lionel in Accutane, France. I hope you enjoyed watching me cut the photochromic gray lenses with the anti-glare coating. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.